So you want to bring Kabbalah into your tarot practice, but you're feeling overwhelmed about where to begin. I can help with that. I'm Linda Burnett, and I teach and write about Jewish Kabbalistic tarot. In this video, I'm going to show you one of the simplest places to start, the 3 pillars of the Tree of Life. By the end of this video, you'll understand what the 3 pillars represent and how they can help you see patterns of balance and imbalance in your tarot reading. Let's begin. Working with the concept of the 3 pillars of the Tree of Life is one of the most easily understood ways of applying Kabbalah into your tarot readings. Let's first look at the Tree of Life. Now, the Tree of Life, this graphic, is the central graphic for Kabbalah. I call it a reality matrix. It is a diagram that represents the divine architecture that is at the center of everything. Everything, every experience, everything. And this is a way we can orient ourselves in reality. It's made up of 10 Sefirot. It's arranged both in dyads, pairs, it's arranged in triads, but it's also arranged in what we're going to look at today, which is 3 pillars. The 3 pillars represent the different energies in creation and how they work, how they interweave, and how we can utilize them. So first we have this vertical pillar, then this one, and then this one. So this one would be called the right pillar. No mystery then, this is the left, and this is the middle. So now you know what the 3 pillars are and how to find them. And orient yourself in a tarot spread. Where does this card fit on the 3 pillars? If it's an ace through 10. The pillars predominantly shine with the ace through 10s because that's where they live on the tree. Let me show you. I make this big enough so you can really see it. All of the aces live up in Keter here at the top. All of the 2s live here, the 3s here. Not even really worrying about the names of the individual Sefirot right now. You really can just work with the concepts of where do the pip cards live on the tree. Now, I want to give you another way of visualizing this, because a lot of with Kabbalah, it has a vertical learning curve, and that can be really intimidating at first, and it doesn't have to be. You just have to put a little work into it and be willing to fumble around a bit at the beginning. So let me show you this, where we literally put them into 3 columns. Now here I have the names of each Sefirot. Here at the top, Keter, Chochmah, Bina. Don't worry about that. What you want to focus on right now is the number. So 1 means the aces of all 4 suits of tarot. The 2 means all the 2s. The 3 means all the 3s, so on and so forth. Okay, now you know how to find the 3 pillars. You know how to map the ace through 10 on. We're halfway there. Okay, next we're going to talk about what are the energies. I told you that at the beginning that the pillars represent different forms of energies and how they move and how they relate to each other. This is where it gets really interesting. So the right pillar, which is here, technically called the pillar of mercy. They have traditional names. The pillar of mercy is the right pillar. The pillar of severity is the left. The pillar of balance. I just call them left, right, and middle. And there's one key word. That's all you have to know to get going. And that is down here, expansive energy. Pardon me, I'm learning how to use my pen. That really sucks. That didn't. Oops, sorry, I'm not supposed to say sucks, am I? Expansive energy. It's expansive. Expansive. So now you know that all the 2s, the 4s, and the 7s within the pip cards, pip in tarot is ace through 10s, as opposed to the court cards or the major arcana, all have to deal with expansive energy that wants to move. It wants to flow. Pardon my writing. Now, what's the opposite side? Well, the opposite side here, over here, we have the left pillar. And it has, if you want to remember just one word, constrictive energy. it constricts. Another way of saying constricts is going to be limits. Another way of saying limits is, say, boundaries, borders. Think of a river rushing, and if it doesn't have borders, it can overflow and completely flood an area and be very destructive. And that's actually a key element of this. Any one of these two pillars, if they are out of balance, are destructive. If you have expansiveness, everybody loves the right pillar. It sounds great. It's mercy. It's expansive. It's wonderful. But if you have too much flow of energy with nothing to stop it, it can be overwhelming. With the left pillar, if you have too much constriction of energy with nothing to stop it, it can shut everything down. And you know what? We need both those energies. We need expansiveness and movement outward. We need constriction and limits in order to really function. We just don't want them to go out of balance too much. Then you have the middle pillar. Now, you might be thinking, oh, the middle pillar, okay, well, that's balance, because you've even, you've got it right here. It's called balance. Yeah. I like these words better. Harmony, synthesis, and integration. It's really more harmonizing because it's a verb. It does something. Harmony always sounds so sweet and delicate and dainty. Harmonization isn't. Synthesis and integration can be extremely chaotic and sometimes painful as things are harmonizing themselves. So the 1, the 6, the 9, and the 10, these are elements that are talking about integration. Okay. So now you know how to find the 3 pillars. You know how to place the cards on the 3 pillars. And now you know some keywords for each pillar. That's all you need to know. This is all you need to know about the 3 pillars in order to bring Kabbalah into your tarot readings. Let me show you how. Okay, I love this little pause button on Canva. I don't do a lot of heavy editing because I don't get to edit when I teach, and I use online Zoom and everything to teach, so I don't do a whole lot, but that pause button is really great. Okay. Mock reading. Now, one thing to know, I don't work with tarot predictively. I don't believe it predicts the future because we all have a higher power of whatever name or however you call that energy or that being. And that higher power has a big say in what goes on. But most importantly, we have free will. We have free will and we can make different choices. Tarot is a wonderful tool for spiritual discernment to see, are we heading in the right direction or do we need to make some changes? So with that in mind, let's look at how we would look at this reading. Let's map it onto the tree. Notice I haven't given you a question. I don't usually do cold readings. My style is very interactive. However, you could actually do a cold reading on this. Someone could sit down and say, can you just kind of, I don't know, show me what's going on? You could ask that to yourself. I call that a State of the Union reading. And you pull this and you go, okay, well, there's no placements, past, present, possible outcome. There's nothing. It's just 3 cards. Let's map them. We have a 4. Let's just put that over here. The 2 goes here. Remember the 2? See the 2? All right, right now you can even stop because you've only got 3 cards. You now have a majority of the spread on the right pillar. Okay, Linda, where does temperance go? It's a major arcana. Well, we haven't talked about that yet. We're not going to in this video, except I will tell you it's one of the pathways. So what you know is that 2 out of the 3 cards are on the right pillar. And again, this is the pillar of expansion. Flow. We'll just keep it at that. Now, each one of those spheres on that pillar have a different flavor of expansion and flow. We're not going to worry about that right now. So we know that whatever's going on in this person's life, they're in a state of flowing and expansion and going outward. And if they go, well, I've been living as a hermit in my cave. Okay, well, then you're being asked to be more outgoing and to move outward into your life, right? Maybe they're expanding in terms of creativity or in terms of abundance or generosity or in terms of drive and persistence. If you know about the Chariot, you know I just gave you keywords for the 3 on that pillar. But you don't need to know any more than that. You could just say you're in a time of flow and expansion. If you want to take it a step further without even pulling any more cards, you can know that because the energies work together, that if you are here, you're also going to then want to integrate here. And you could say you have all this wonderful expansion and flow, but make sure that you contain it. That's left pillar, contain. I called it boundaries or limits. A lot of people don't like those words. I don't know why. They're very positive words. But you want to contain that energy. You want to give it, oh, wait for it, structure. Right. So this is a time for building some structure and stability in your life so that you can contain all this wonderfully expansive energy. Now notice, we have done nothing with the actual meanings of the cards. Oh, when you bring the meanings of the cards in, then you're just going to take this and you can keep going and going and going. But that's going to be another video for another day coming up soon. This is all you need to do to begin working with the cards. Okay, but what about temperance? If you're like me, I'm over here going, okay, but what about that temperance card? We can't leave out the temperance card, and we won't. What did we just talk about? We talked about right and left pillar balancing and working together. Well, what is the very meaning of the temperance card? Moderation, this wonderful flowing water. It's flowing. Is it flowing up? Is it flowing down? It's actually flowing in both. We have this wonderful movement of water here that actually is giving you input into this spread. But you didn't have to even bring that in because just mapping the cards already showed you another way of doing it. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. I want you to enjoy, have fun, see how far this gets you. Drop some comments in if you have any questions, and we'll do another video or maybe even 2 where we're just practicing this. Now, if you'd like a little help in how to do this, check down in the description of the video. I dropped a link to what I call my Jewish Kabbalistic Tarot Quick Reference Guide. It's the columns. It is this handout of mapping the major arcana. It's the one that you saw mapping the pip cards, plus actually some other charts which go through keywords where you could actually begin bringing in the keywords of each of the spheres. That's down in the description. Feel free and enjoy, and see you in the next video.